Well, I've got here 10 of my training diaries from the years 2002 to 2011. Back in the days before Strava, training peaks, power meters and even heart rate monitors. And in one of these diaries I found this piece of paper. Well, I didn't follow a training plan back then. I certainly didn't have a coach. But on this piece of paper are 7 training principles that I obviously thought were important. And they're just as relevant today. So I thought I'd share them with you. What I'm going to share with you are 7 key training principles. But this isn't a training plan, and I'm not a coach. You can trust me though. After all, I am a doctor. It's easy to fall into the trap of doing the type of training that we enjoy or that we're good at. But just like the golfer who wants to improve his putting, it's not going to happen on the driving range. So if you want to be a better sprinter, you want to be able to climb better, or if you want to be really comfortable in the time trial position, guess what? You've got to train for the demands of the event. Intensity inevitably involves interval training. Long efforts, short efforts, long recoveries, short recoveries, multiple sets. It doesn't really matter what you do. But if they're hurting, then they're probably working. And if they're not hurting, then you probably need to press on the pedals a bit harder. Volume is obviously relative, and it means different things to different people. But one thing the best riders all have in common is that they ride a lot. That rider who passed you the other day, whose wheel you couldn't possibly hang on to, yeah, I bet he rides a lot. Volume. Just ride your bike as much as you can. Progressive overload is a fundamental principle of all training programs. By increasing the amount of the previous 2, volume and intensity, your body will adapt to the training load. By asking more of yourself, you'll get stronger and fitter. Which brings us nicely to the next principle: recovery. I must confess at this point that I'm not the ideal person to talk to anybody about recovery. And that's because during this 10-year period, I spent the whole time, if not overtrained, then definitely under-recovered. So I learnt the lesson the hard way. You need to take a day off now and again. And even though I still ride every day, I definitely don't train every day. And neither should you. Just go to a cafe. Variety is an important principle. You won't continue to improve if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Eventually, the adaptation will stop. And at that point, you need to recognise it and do something different. I've deliberately left the most important principle to the end, because consistency is the absolute key and trumps everything else. Doesn't matter what you do, unless you're training consistently, you'll never improve. And always remember this: it takes a very long time to get good. I know this from experience. It's taken me 40 years to get to average.